Today I'm going to take you through the process I use to plan out my calendar monthly page. I'm going to show you some tips on using your sticker set, combining different stickers, making your own labels, using the highlighter and line tool creatively, and I even have a freebie to share with you. So let's jump in. When I'm planning a new month, I find that I often end up using the same format. So I'll show you what I had in January here. And then today we can build out my page for February. Now, what I typically do is I add in one of my sidebar options. As a reminder, you have a ton of different options in your sticker book for your monthly sidebars. And you can combine these with labels, you have habit trackers. So there's a ton you can do straight from the sticker book that comes with your planner. But I often like to dress it up a little bit. You can see I used one of the labels and some underlining and highlighting color. Now for February, I'm actually going to be using both the sticker book that comes with the planner, and I'm also going to use one of my decorative sticker sets, and that's this love sticker set. Obviously, it's perfect for February, and so I'll be able to incorporate some of this just to mix up my layout and make it feel a little bit more seasonal. And you can see all of my decorative sticker sets do come with these little widget stickers that also fit perfectly on the dated pages. So I have a lot of options to add some more decorative quotes and things into my monthly page. So jumping over here, sometimes it feels really overwhelming when you're just starting with a blank page. So what I've done in my sticker book is I've taken a lot of the labels that I already have, and you can see these come from all of the sets that I have in here, but I've preset them up with text boxes, layered them so that I can easily place them on the page when I'm building out my page. And so you can see this is all editable here. I can go in and I can type in the event name. And then of course, these are my stacked stickers. So if you have my planner, you actually have all of these stickers and you can add in your own text and set it up like this. Or if you like, I'm going to be sharing this little set as a freebie. You'll see the sign-in link in the description of this video. So that's also an option if you just want to grab the version I've pre-built. I'm always trying to make it as easy as possible for you. So jumping over to the page, I'll show you a few things that I do just to start off. So first, what I like to do is just start with the sidebar. Now, I always like to mix it up. And again, this is a place that it's really easy to choose something more decorative. So one of these would be really cute. But what I found last month, and this is why I like planning month to month, is I never used the sidebar. I just have so many other pages, weekly, daily, to take notes on. So what I'm actually going to do is grab the small acts of kindness. I love the idea that I can really easily, without having to think about it, give myself this little personal challenge. And it just seems like a fun way to use this page for this month. So paste it in, of course, it fits right here. And that's there. And now I can go through during the month and I can check things off as I go through. So I love that as a way to set the tone for my month. Now, the second thing I'm going to do, and this is really where we see the full power of the new shortcut integration for iPads coming in, I'm just going to check my calendar. What I do for my planning process is I have all of my appointments scheduled out over time, things I need to coordinate with other people on my digital calendar, meaning for me, my Google Calendar that I have synced to my Apple Calendar. This allows me to plan really far in advance, never have to worry about losing information in a format like this. What I really do is I use this format to do my personal reflection planning. I love the process of setting up pages like I'm doing here today, but ultimately, like my source of truth and where I actually keep everything is in my calendar. So you have two options on your monthly page. if you just want to do a really quick spot check, kind of remember what you have planned, this gives you the ability to quickly just see that list, quick review, and check things off. Now, when I'm in more of a planning mode like this, I actually like to open a side-by-side because it makes it a lot easier for me to work. So I wanted to show you that example, but to open my full calendar, I'm going to choose this version with kind of the action arrow on it. And I'm going to open that up. It's going to open in a new screen, but I'll show you quickly how you can open it in a side-by-side view. What we do is we just swipe up here for multitasking and drag this down, and you can see it gives me that side-by-side view, and then I can click into it. And this is where I can easily move this aside, create this as more of a sidebar view, and then easily still work in my calendar. So I'll start out my planning with getting all of these events in here. And I'll show you, I like to get decorative. I like to have fun. Usually I do my planning at night. I'm planning during the day just so I have light to show you in this video. But normally how I do this is at night with a cup of tea. And again, it's more of a creative exercise for me. So I'm going to show you how I get these into my calendar and some of the little tricks I do to make things more creative. So I alluded to this in the beginning. I definitely have a bit of a formula for how I set up my pages, just my general style. What I like to do is when I have something that's an appointment at a specific time, I'll often use just an icon and this text. When I have something that's a bigger event, that's a full day thing, I like to add this little background and really make it stand out. And then if I have something that's just like a smaller appointment or something that recurs, I like to put it in more of this format where it's just like a little card on my day. And so that's what really works for me. Of course, I don't put absolutely everything I have to do. Some things that just happen every week don't show up on my monthly calendar. I use it more as a reflective way to get ready for my month and kind of capture what I'm doing. So find what works for you. That's what works for me. So again, because I have that more predictable format, I'm able to speed it up a bit by having all of my little templates here pre-sized. What I'll do is just grab these and pull them over. I'm going to just start with these. And I'll jump into my planner. And I'm just going to grab one of these color-coded and put them on each of my like all-day events or for my appointments. Now I did realize when I was in here planning that we have moved this and I obviously forgot to move it on my calendar. So again, this is where it's really nice when you're able to have both tool sets open, and with this integration here, I'm going to tap here and just edit it, and I can easily move it to that next day. And then I have everything correct here. And then also say I was in here and picked up the phone, talked to somebody, scheduled something, and I'm already in my planner. What I can do then is I'll grab this and let's say I set a paint and sip and 6 p.m. Now, what I could do here, I can grab this, and with this little plus here on the date, I can tap in, and I wouldn't have to have my calendar open for this. This is just showing you, and I can paste that in. Make sure it's at the right time, 6 p.m., and I can add that in and then it'll show up. I could also have invited somebody, but now I see that on my other calendar. So again, the reason I really created this integration is because I am using two tool sets and this makes it so much smoother. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll go through, now I have them all arranged, and now with this still open in the sidebar, I'll go through and I will add in all of my event names. And I'll show you quickly. I'm still not positive on this one. I do a combination of typing and writing. Honestly, they both work pretty well for me. It just depends. So for example, I can hide this and write out. And it works pretty well for me. You can see I'm writing super, sloppy, and it's working pretty well. So it's an option to write that way, or sometimes I type, and a lot of times I'll also have my keyboard connected. So you just have to find the way that works best for you. But I do find that the handwritten to text works really well. Of course, you can also handwrite in. For these pages, I've just gotten into the flow of using text, and when I have it all set up, it's not a big deal. But of course, you can just handwrite in your event names as well. But this is a good solution, having it all set up. If you feel really self-conscious of your handwriting and it holds you back, doing it this way, I'm still getting that handwriting experience, but I'm writing it out. So yeah, it works really well. It's pretty foolproof, and I can do it either way here on these pages. So I'm going to run through, I'm going to get all of these labels in here, and then we'll meet back up. Now, there's one more thing I am going to add here. I have a new yoga class that I'm starting, and so I do want to make sure that I have that showing up on my calendar. So I'm just going to jump over into my sticker book here, and that's what I have these smaller ones for. So I'm going to grab this blue one here, copy it, and paste it in. And I'm just going to create like a little card for this, and I'll place it on here. I don't want it to take over the day because it is just an ongoing every week, but I want it to be visible since it is new for me. And since I'm gonna copy it across all the weeks, what I'm first gonna do is add a little icon here. So if I go back, I have large icon sets available. What I really like to do is grab these ones with the white background. So for the yoga, I will grab, let's see, I'll grab this little sunrise, copy, jump over, paste. Now I'm going to resize this to fit, and then I'll also add just a little color on here. I like using the highlighter because you can be kind of sloppy and it bumps to the back of the outline. So I can choose where I have that, but now that I have it all set up, I can copy it and just paste it across each of my days here so that it shows up. And you can see that's a really easy way to kind of add in things that are going on each week. And I'm not going to add it to the first here. You can see in my planners it's lighter for the next month just to give you visibility, but I'm just going to add it in for the dates that are actually in February. Now, here's where I really have fun. I will go in and add cute little icons to all of these and scribble on them with the highlighter. So for the running, I'm going to grab these here and we'll jump over. And this is where I go through and add them in. It's already sized to fit perfectly as far as scale. And then I will get creative with the highlighter on this one. Just gonna add a little bit of detail. Oops. Add a little bit of detail into the shoes. And it's kind of like how you have those adult coloring books. This is my version of an adult coloring book. And I've had conversations with people about, oh, that seems like a waste of time. You already have it on your calendar. I totally get that. Fair. But again, it's just something that I'm doing for fun for me, and I enjoy it. But I hope it goes without saying that it's not necessary to do this. You can use the planner and not even use your monthly pages if you already track it in a calendar. So I do like the shapes, and I have it on dotted line. And again, going a little bit sloppy. Then it's going to snap to the shape. And then if you tap here on it, you have these little arrows and you can get it centered in there. So that's one thing I like to do, add a little border, color it in. I'll show you a couple more examples as I build these out just to give you ideas if you like the idea of using icons and labels together like this. Okay, let's jump over and do my dentist appointment. So you can see with that one, just add in a little decoration. Let's go on to the book club here. So I'll just go through here and keep grabbing things. I go to my collection here, and you can see even just with this really simple collection, you have enough to add in and find something that just fits for just about any event. I'll go in here, and for this one, I'm going to add in a little color. And then the other day I realized that it's kind of fun to use the dotted line in a lot of different ways. And I'll just keep going through, adding in decoration on these until I finish everything. Now for this one, I'm going to add like a little border detail, and I can do that by choosing the same color as this background, and that's where the new color dropper really comes in handy. So because this is a transparent, it's not exactly one of the colors from my color codes. So by using that dropper, now I can go in, and when I do my circle, it's matching perfectly. So it kind of creates this little border, and I do love the shape for the sense that you can select it and resize it. And so that's just another idea for getting decorative. So usually it's a combination of using the highlighter, the pen, the dotted line, and then I do also really like using the dotted line to kind of make things more decorative. Like, for example, for this final text review, I know I'm going to be doing some prep beforehand, so if I want to make that a little more fun instead of just an arrow, but to kind of block off time over here, I'm going to do this, make this just a little bit bigger, and whoops, get a dashed line here. And then I can do this here and showing that I know I'll be doing some final review beforehand. So I really like the dotted for doing that and getting creative. And yeah, I'll finish up the rest of these and then we'll come back together to add the rest of the page. Okay, so once I've gone through and added things in, and of course, sometimes I'll come back in and, decide to add even more. And you can decide, how much you do here. But what I haven't done yet is decorated my square for Valentine's Day. So I'm obviously going to jump into this notebook here and grab some things. I think for my Valentine's Day, I really like this little envelope. I'm going to grab this. And since this is February, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more stickers from here. So I do like to, like I said, grab one of my themed sticker sets. And I'll use that just to fill in some of the blank space on the page. And again, this is where I'm just getting a little more decorative with it. And then I also really like to use the washi tape that's included with this set and layer that on just to give it a little bit more dimension. And you can see it has some transparency. If you really like this washi tape, I have a whole set of washi tape, but you'll also get some included that coordinates with the sets that you pick out. So I'll go through, add any other details. You can see it's so easy to add things in and take them out. And this is where I'll experiment a little bit, get creative. And then that's it. My monthly page is done. So of course, this is more of that creative exercise of your monthly planning. Don't forget, really the part of your planning that's going to propel you ahead goes beyond just the creative exercise and gets into the planning. And that's where we can jump into your reflection pages, your planning, and you go through and review your goals. So I'll be sharing another video showing some inspiration on those, how I set up things like my tracker and finance page. But I wanted to start today by going through sharing a little bit more creativity to get you excited and jump started on your month. Thanks so much for watching.